A nutritionist in Taichung starts a fundraising event to buy products from a Fengjia gas explosion victim's family. We find out how the summer heat may affect children under 3. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Taiwan. Nearly 3 years have passed since the Kaohsiung gas explosion took place, and a film director has been documenting the recovery journey of 5 of the burn victims. After more than 700 days of painful rehabilitation, many survivors have come to terms with their injuries and learned how important their families are to them.
A simple arm stretch makes him tremble with pain. After more than 700 days, do you still remember the burn victims from the Kaohsiung gas explosions?
像我会觉得说，我还有2个小的女儿在身边，至少我要陪伴他们长大什么的。
The burn victims not only experience physical pain, but they also have to deal with emotional scars. A documentary director has spent nearly 3 years documenting 5 burn victims.
所以有的时候他们不一定会。
Sometimes they are not optimistic nor willing to be documented. However, since we've been spending time with them and they know in a way we are accompanying them, they are willing to walk out of despair.
The rehabilitation process includes pain, but also lessons for them.
In the 3 years, I have realized the importance of family bonds.
In the past, I did not pay attention to disadvantaged groups, but now I pay more attention to people in need.
Through making the documentary, the director hopes to encourage the burn victims to stay upbeat as they face the long road of rehabilitation.
Switching our camera to Taichung, as more than 10 days ago, a massive gas explosion occurred in Fengjia's business district. Among the injured list is a university student surnamed Xu, who suffered third-degree burns to 30% of her body. With her family's financial situation in a precarious place, future medical expenses are a worry for the family. Hearing the family refuse donations from people, someone started a fundraising event to help the family by purchasing cherries from their fruit stand. In just one day, 130 boxes were sold, and the orders keep coming in. On the 18th of this month, a gas explosion occurred in the business district of Fengjia, Taichung, with casualties of 1 death and 15 injured. A student of Fengjia University surnamed Xu suffered third-degree burns to 30% of her lower body and is currently in the ICU being treated. Her parents sell fruit for a living and have to take care of 4 children who are still in school. After the incident, the family's financial responsibility has increased.
Afterwards, the threat of it is pretty big.
Xu's younger brother has come to help his parents at the fruit stand whenever he can.
就有事情就帮忙，就帮忙装樱桃。
Liao Meiyu, a nutritionist at Caotun's Youming Hospital, heard that the Xu family, although having financial difficulties, still refused donations. Thus, she started a fundraiser of cherries from the Xu family.
It saddened me to hear these things, and I wanted to do something to help the family that's within my power.
In just one day, Liao collected orders for 130 boxes and stopped by the shop personally to transport the cherries to distribute. Upon seeing them, many people added their order in.
I'm very grateful to everyone. I have truly felt that there are many kind-hearted people out there in society.
Throughout this disaster, love continues to sprout up in unexpected places. The curry restaurant worker who has suffered 2 to 3 degree burns to 90% of the body is still in unstable conditions. All hopes that the government will step in to help with some financial subsidies soon. The blessed are those who have the ability to give, like the medical students from Tzu Chi University in Taiwan who spent their summer vacation in the Philippines, gaining overseas medical experience. Their last stop before heading home was on Boho Island, where they joined the volunteers' ranks to conduct a free clinic and home visitations. After witnessing the suffering of the poor, these students know the mission they will need to take on when they become doctors in the future.
As soon as the medical students from Tzu University in Taiwan arrive on Bohol Island, a girl seeks their help because she suffers from health problem related to her leg.
I cannot finish my studies because the condition of my leg leads me to develop mobility problems.
Joining the volunteers' ranks at the free clinic, these future doctors learn from doing. This man's left hand cannot move due to a stroke. After the treatments, the miracle occurs.
I can raise my hands and I have regained my strength.
They witness the pain and see the hope that medical treatments can bring.
Without medical assistance to help him solve his ailments, his illnesses have worsened. This makes me feel sad.
The volunteers go door to door to conduct home visitations for those patients who are unable to come to the clinic.
So it caused the abnormalities.
The cry of this baby once again tangles the heart of the students.
I feel sad because I'm wondering why these people are ill. However, I feel grateful because it is Tzu Chi that discovered their problems and helped them treat their illnesses.
Even though they can only do certain things, they still want to do more.
By hugging them or touching them, we can give them spiritual support and comfort them.
Although they live a difficult life, they are always optimistic and they never complain. They work very hard each day to get by.
After participating in this summer trip, these students know more about the responsibility and mission that they will need to take on when they become doctors.
DaAi TV in Medan, Indonesia recently celebrated its 10th anniversary. At this occasion, China Disabled People's Performing Arts Troupe was invited to the station to perform. Prior to this event, they exchanged cultures and experiences with an Indonesian educational foundation for the blind. Besides sharing music, they also support each other to pursue their dreams.
These performers who are blind won everyone's hearts with their instrumental performances. China Disabled People's Performing Arts Troupe also respond to their warm welcome through music. In celebration of the 10th anniversary since its establishment, DaAi TV in Medan, Indonesia, has invited this troupe to liven up the occasion. An education foundation for the blind in Indonesia also seized this opportunity to learn.
We can learn from their spirit and motivation. This has inspired us.
I hope that our students have passion for life. They should pursue their dreams, just like the members of China Disabled People's Performing Arts Troupe.
In addition to sharing experiences with one another, they also support each other to embrace a bright future.
There is a couple in training for their certification in Malaysia, Seremban, who have for the past 2 years eagerly participated in Tzu Chi's events. The couple's devotion was mainly due to the wife suffering from cancer. She realized that life is too short and that she must give back to society while she can. The wife's positivity has inspired those around her to live each day to the fullest. A good patient in the eyes of her doctor, Su Ki-moy, has always faced her cancer treatments with positivity since she was diagnosed with it in 2015.
Sister Kim Moy is a very cooperative patient. I know she does hospital volunteer work and Tzu Chi events. I think more cancer patients should take part like her.
Back in 1995, Sue and her husband's connection with Tzu Chi began. However, due to their involvement in the family's business, the connection was temporarily put on hold. It wasn't until Sue was diagnosed with cancer that the husband and wife pair decided to return to Tzu Chi to give back to society.
Basically, we are involved in home visitations and recycling. She also promotes humanitarian education as well as being a DaAi mother. She gives selflessly even though she is sick. Those of us who are healthy should get more on this 慈济 Bodhisattva path.
At the care recipient's home, Sue is spirited and energized.
The most important lesson is I've learned to let go. In other words, I don't see myself as a sick patient. This is very important because during our home visitations, I've seen many people who are suffering.
The woman of the house asks after Sue during their home visitation. Each day, Sue goes to work, participates in Tzu Chi, and heads to the hospital for treatment. She continues her fight with cancer with Jingsi aphorisms in her heart. As it gets hotter in the summer, many children under the age of 3 might experience summer fever. Since children's body temperature regulation is poor, the hot and humid environments of Taiwan might lead to summer fever. Whether children are experiencing summer fever or having heat stroke, there are different ways to differentiate the problem. Let's find out more.
In the hot summer days, some babies may experience higher body temperature or become restless because their central nervous system have not fully developed, leading to poor body heat regulation.
Usually, the fever temperature is about 38 degrees Celsius, and there are no symptoms of cold. The children may cry or have sleep problems. In fact, no treatment is needed for this kind of summer fever.
If children's body temperatures rise above 38 degrees Celsius and experience skin rash, fast breathing and pulse, fatigue, headache, or nausea, the parents can wipe their bodies with wet towels and give them a little cold water.
You must let the children drink water when they are still conscious. If the children start to throw up or become unconscious, then do not give them water, because it could lead to aspiration pneumonia.
The doctor advises the parents, if the children's body temperature remains high despite ways to lower them, or if they experience convulsion or become unconscious, then they should seek medical treatment immediately.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hualien and New Taipei City visit local veterans' homes regularly. Since the country's Father's Day is approaching, volunteers in Hualien recently joined local veterans to celebrate this holiday, as well as their monthly birthday celebration. Meanwhile, volunteers in Banqiao, New Taipei City, also provided free haircuts.
The veterans look forward to the visit of Tzu Chi volunteers and the chance to get a makeover.
高不高兴啊？ 高兴。为什么高兴啊？一更帅。
As Father's Day is approaching, he reminds me of my father. This way, I feel that I miss my father.
Zhen Meizhu and Zhen Meiqing come together to serve the veterans. Since their father has passed away years ago, and this is an opportunity for them to honor the seniors, Zhen Meiqing has come despite her broken arm.
I see them as my father and mother. I've been providing haircuts here for more than 10 years.
At Hualien Veterans Home, Tzu Chi volunteers have come to help the veterans celebrate their birthday.
They often come to care for the residents at Hualien Veterans Home. Therefore, I wrote song lyrics with the music from The Last Night of Madam Qing to express my gratitude to Tzu Chi.
唱了一首感谢慈济的歌。
These grandpas also do a good job learning the sign language songs. The veterans are deeply touched, seeing how Tzu Chi volunteers give of themselves through films. The volunteers also hand them coin banks for them to save up and help the less fortunate.
扩及到
I hope they will be spreading love so others can know that veterans not only serve the country, they also help people in need in Taiwan.
For both the veterans and volunteers, every gathering is precious and memorable.
Are you aware that Tzu Chi recycling stations are not the only place that recycles plastic bags? In fact, the government has announced that people can recycle plastic bags by giving them to garbage trucks or cleaning squads. Nevertheless, people should wash and bind the plastic bags before recycling them, and be aware that composite materials are not recyclable.
如果它很干净的话，我会把它绑起来回收，下次再使用。
去市场会比较多，可是之后会重复使用当垃圾袋啊。对啊，就是4、5个有吧。
应该都是不能回收的吧？塑胶袋。我的应该我不知道哎。
The government has announced that plastic bags are recyclable. However, people must wash them and bind them into a bundle. Nevertheless, composite materials are not recyclable.
里面有看到一个铝箔的成分，这个都叫复合式。
If you see aluminium in it, it is considered as composite material, which we do not recycle. Meanwhile, magazine bags, bread bags, or bottle wraps are recyclable.
这些都是可以回收的塑胶。
In terms of cherishing resources, Tzu Chi volunteers even cut out the labels on the plastic bags.
如果我们把它卷起来，它就
After we cut it out, it can be remade into better plastic pellets. Then later, it can be made into a heat-resistant bag.
价位就比较高。
These bulk bags have been discarded at the converging point of Dajia River. Environment maintenance and inspection team has found out these are bulk bags for planting mushrooms.
They can affect the organisms on riverbed since they could sink into the river.
Environment Protection Agency has fined a mushroom farmer. Other mushroom farmers said that if the government can also recycle bulk bags, it will be doing the farmers a big favor as well as protecting the environment.
Next, we meet 10-year-old Fengjia Yen from Malaysia, who didn't like eating vegetables or took the initiative to do chores around the house. After attending Tzu Chi's after school in Penang, he has not only embraced vegetarianism, but has become his mother's helper around the house.
Making snacks with Jinsi food products, 10-year-old Fengjia Yen also loves eating fruit. However, he used to be severely constipated because he disliked eating vegetables, which worried his mother.
After he returned home from Tzu Chi daycare center, he told me he liked to eat lettuce. Later, every time we eat out, he always says that he wants to eat lettuce.
The teacher encouraged me to eat more vegetables. In the beginning, I only ate the vegetables that I know. Other like eggplants, I still don't like.
Influenced by his teacher, Sim has not only changed his eating habits, but he has also improved his behaviors.
I fold clothes, do the dishes, and take the bowls to the kitchen sink after eating. Sometimes I help sweep the floor. The teacher also asked me to wash my shoes. I have been doing all of this for a few months.
Not only is he a good helper of his mother, his teacher is also aware of the changes.
He stood there waiting for me. When he came out and I asked him why he did not return to his class, he told me that he wanted to wait for me. At that moment, I thought he's really a very thoughtful child.
Now putting others ahead of himself and taking the initiative to help those in need, Sim has become more mature and well-behaved.
Students from Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology have traveled to Langkawi, Malaysia to put on a play for children. This is the second time TCUST is putting on a performance there, and local entrepreneurs have provided the venue and equipment. Among the performers, some of them were born in Langkawi, and therefore they feel very touched to be performing in their hometown.
Since their performance in Langkawi last year, students from Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology have come again to perform for more than 1,000 people in the audience.
I've served with my expertise here, therefore I'm sharing my equipment with everyone here.
Among the performers, one of them grew up in Langkawi. In the past, he enjoyed watching plays, and this time he feels differently performing in his hometown.
I feel a sense of achievement taking part in the play. In the past, I enjoyed watching plays, and now I hope the younger students in the audience can feel the same way.
Lu Yifan, who plays the clown, has left Langkawi when he was little. He has words for his father.
In the past, I could not tell how much you love me. Now that my mom is gone, I will be filial to you and love you.
You need to be your own director and perform well for your father, as well as your mother in heaven.
The performers are doing their best to touch the hearts of those in the audience. Love will remain after the performance is over.
Father George Martinson, S.J., first came to Taiwan in 1967 as a missionary, and since then he has lived in the country for half a century, dedicating himself to the Taiwanese people. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 75 at the end of May this year. However, the life story of Father Jerry, as he's more fondly known as, was published into a book where readers can understand more about him and his love of Taiwan.
Through music, stories, acting, and videos, Father Jerry shares his love and goodness in a lively way. He discovered the power of media through photographic equipment. In 1967, he came to Taiwan to serve people, and since then he had lived on this island for 50 years. His story has been officially published into a book.
We hope through Father Jerry's life story and from his setbacks, loss, and adversities, we can see his never give up spirit and how he gave of himself.
These classical pictures, accompanied by simple text, record every detail of Father Jerry's life journey. We can also see from the book his care for the disadvantaged groups and his contribution to the media.
My first TV show was held at Guangqi Program Services when Father Jerry served as the head of the organization at that time.
I've been in the studio since I was 17 years old. They gave me the opportunity to perform this early.
At that time, there was no TV. This organization recruited people to attend a TV practitioner training class. The program directors of CTS, CTV, and TTV all graduated from here.
The book is like the continuation of life. Father Jerry said, "My life is very ordinary, as I only love myself. And this love will be passed on to everyone, regardless of different races, cultures, and backgrounds."
To celebrate the Indonesian Police Agency's 71st anniversary, the agency partnered with the local Tima chapter to host a medical outreach aimed at cataract patients in Surabaya, since there are more than 200,000 Indonesians in East Java alone suffering from this eye problem. We'll leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.